It is 1:30, Universal Time. I'm Jim Tedder in Washington. President Bush says he is pleased with the early reaction from Iran to an offer aimed at influencing the country to stop enriching uranium. Mr. Bush spoke to reporters Tuesday in the state of Texas. Iran says a new international proposal about its disputed nuclear program includes some useful steps. But Iran's chief nuclear negotiator, Ali Larijani, says parts of the plan are not clear. Mr. Larijani did not explain. He spoke after talks in Tehran with European Union Foreign Policy Chief Javier Solana about the proposal. Permanent members of the United Nations Security Council and Germany developed the proposal. An American State Department spokesman said Iran will be given weeks to consider its answer to the offer. Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas has given the Hamas-led Palestinian government more time to discuss a peace plan. The plan would recognize Israel's right to exist. It also calls for the creation of a Palestinian state in the West Bank and Gaza. A close assistant to Mr. Abbas said Tuesday the Palestinian president would announce a date for a vote on the measure by the end of the week, unless Hamas changes its position. Hamas has already missed a time limit set by Mr. Abbas to approve the plan. Hamas Prime Minister Ismail Haniyeh says his organization will hold more talks with the Fatah party about the plan. Iraqi police say they have found the heads of 9 people near the town of Baquba. This is the second such discovery in recent days. In Baghdad, a bomb hidden in a car has killed at least 4 people. 12 people were wounded. 5 people died in other attacks Tuesday in Baghdad. In other news, Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki says he will order the release of 2,500 prisoners who were not involved in violence. He said releasing the prisoners was a move to build national unity. Afghan officials say 2 coalition soldiers were killed when their vehicle hit a bomb in eastern Nangarhar province. 2 other soldiers were wounded. This was the second attack in a day against coalition forces. In Khost province, a bomber drove his car into a group of coalition vehicles. 3 American soldiers were wounded. And in Ghazni province, an explosion near an Islamic religious school killed 3 people. At least 8 others were wounded. Police have arrested 1 man. Islamic fighters in Somalia are pressing toward the city of Johar after taking control of the capital, Mogadishu. Reports say the fighters are waiting about 20 kilometers south of Johar for orders to attack. The fighters are allied with courts following Islamic Sharia law. They have been fighting against an alliance of tribal leaders. Johar is the last area held by the tribal alliance. Supporters of both sides demonstrated in Mogadishu Tuesday. Leaders of the tribal alliance say the battle for the Somali capital is not over. About 350 people have been killed over 4 months of fighting in Mogadishu. You are listening to the news in VOA Special English. The Sudanese government says it will take steps to decide if United Nations peacekeepers will be permitted in Darfur. Sudanese Foreign Minister Lam Akol made the comments after UN officials met with President Omar al-Bashir in Khartoum. Mr. Akol said the UN and Sudan were moving in the right direction. He said that Sudanese officials would meet next week with representatives of the African Union and other UN diplomats. 7,000 African Union troops currently deployed in Darfur have not been able to control the violence. The Vatican says the traditional family faces its biggest threat in history from same-sex marriage, operations to end pregnancy, and birth control. In a new report, the Vatican's Pontifical Council for the Family called abortion a horrible crime. It said it was unbelievable that it goes unpunished in many countries. It also condemns same-sex marriage. Same-sex marriage is legal in Belgium, Canada, the Netherlands, and Spain. The Chinese Foreign Ministry has condemned a Spanish court for its decision to hear a case from someone who accuses China of mass killings in Tibet. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Liu Jianchao calls the accusations about China false. He says China opposes any attempt to interfere with its national matters. The comments follow a decision by a Spanish court to hear a case brought by the Committee to Support Tibet, based in Madrid. That organization accused former Chinese President Jiang Zemin and 6 other Chinese officials with ordering torture and killings in Tibet. Burma has unexpectedly released a political activist who was known for fighting forced labor. Su Nwe told reporters Tuesday she does not feel happy about her release because forced labor still exists in Burma. She said she will keep fighting against forced labor in Burma. Su Nwe was sent to Burma's insane prison in 2005 for supposedly threatening officials. The American State Department spoke out in February against her imprisonment. The International Labor Organization had also sought her release. President Bush has again called on Congress to agree on a final bill on immigration reform. Mr. Bush spoke in Texas, near the American-Mexican border. He said that illegal immigration is a serious problem for the United States. But he also said immigrants have added to the economy and greatness of the United States. Mr. Bush called on Congress to pay for more security along the border. He also called for an identification system for immigrants. President Bush also urged lawmakers to give millions of illegal immigrants currently in the United States a chance to become citizens. Here again is the major news. President Bush says he is pleased with the early reaction from Iran to an offer aimed at influencing the country to stop enriching uranium. Palestinian President Abbas has given the Hamas-led government more time to discuss a peace plan. And Iraqi police say they have found the heads of 9 people near the town of Bakuba. That's the news in Special English. Jim Tedder reporting.